Hello and welcome students of literature to this session. After a long time we are back in the studios, Raji and myself. So Raji, hearty welcome to you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm
enjoying myself thoroughly.
Yeah. Well, you are familiar with Raji Narasimhan. You must have read her name as a writer somewhere, I'm sure. You are students of literature. Well, I would like to briefly tell you about Raji, a multifaceted personality, I must say. A novelist, a short story writer, a literary critic, and regular book reviewer, and a literary journalist. And you know, her book Forever Free was shortlisted for the Sahitya Academy Literary Award, and it was on the syllabus of Delhi IIT for almost 10 years. And the other novel, Atonement, has again been reprinted, isn't it? Recently, Atonement got
Forever Free is being reprinted.
Forever Free, and went to which festival it was? The book festival in Frankfurt. Also, Raji has written critical book Sensibility Under Stress. She's attempting again a book on translation, what it is to translate and the theory of translation. She is trying to interpret the whole activity of translation in her own way. And she has entered, I would say, the arena of translation in a big way. Has translated Raji Seth, and then Maitri Pushpa's Alma Kabutri, which came out very recently. Katha published it last year.
In November.
In November. And she has also been editing books for Katha. And the heartening good news is that her book here with me, The Illusion of Home, a collection of short stories, has been recently published by publishers. What are the names of the publishers? Pramila and Co-Publishers and Bibliophile South Asia. Well, the story that we have on the syllabus, A Toast to Herself, is written by Raji herself, and you will have a first-hand account of the story. She would perspectivize the story for you as an insider, as a critic, as a writer who has seen these characters. The author, the protagonist, the characters, all are one here sitting with me here. So welcome, Raji. To begin with, I would want you to briefly tell us about the story of A Toast to Herself. What is the storyline?
The storyline is not quite very easy. Actually, it's easy and also not easy. The thing is, it's about a girl. Let's say, I think we can call her a girl. I don't know. Yeah, of course she's a girl. Although she's had experiences which perhaps a more mature woman would be having. But that apart, she's age-wise, you would call her a girl. Okay. Now, the thing is that she's done what you would call a standard thing in breaking away from convention in many ways.
Yeah.
By convention, you know what I mean. Marriage,
Yes.
the house, the family, everything.
Yes.
All that she's broken broken away from. But that's not the end of it. That is the point from where the story begins. Now she's won space in a way. When you break away, you get space. But what are you going to do with that space? See, that's the point. Because you aspire for space. You try to reach for space for a habitat.
Yes.
See, you've got to make a kind of your own habitat, and in that habitat you're going to pour yourself. That habitat is going to reflect yourself. It's going to reflect your life, your personality, your views, everything.
Correct.
You know, it's going to be an extension of yourself. That is where the problems arise, because it is not easy to construct a habitat. This habitat is not physical.
Yes,
You know, it's not just made up of outward things.
Yes, not confined to just four boundaries.
No,
Yeah.
It's not just a question of putting up
House.
some furniture.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like that. You know, it has to reflect her personality. How is she going to do it?
Yes.
She's not a person of means. by the word means, I strictly mean money, materially she's not well off, but she's, let's say, super sensitive.
Yes.
She's
Please
talented.
note down these things. Yes,
she's
super
talented.
sensitive, talented.
Let's say she's talented, but everything is untapped yet. She has to, she really has to dynamite herself.
What a
To
beautiful
bring
expression.
to bring out her talent,
Yes.
to make it mean something.
Yeah.
When you dynamite the land or the ground or the earth, for instance, what do? You're going to not just dig a hole, you're going to create something out of that hole. You're going to erect something out of that hole.
Correct.
So this kind of the process of dynamiting is going on. And at the same time, she has to construct. It's all coming together.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm clear, but it's very difficult to say this is the point at which something ends, this is the point at which something else begins. You can't put it that way at all. This is a kind of life in which she has to really reconstruct herself. She has to really make herself be reborn.
Yes. And who are the other characters in the story? Her
Yes.
mother, obviously.
The mother. Now, this question of being reborn has to be done by a lot of deep interaction with her mother.
Yes.
The mother is very crucial to her. Although they have lots of differences, the mother probably was one of the reasons for her to break away from tradition.
Yes.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense? I hope it does. Because she's attached to the mother, but at the same time, because of the mother's attitude, that she's had to make these breaks also.
Okay.
Does it make sense? Of course, there are other characters because of whom she's taking these steps away from convention, away from established practice, custom, everything.
Yeah.
But the mother is a main triggering factor.
Yeah, though in the story that is not spelt out.
No, it's not spelled out, but it's there. It's there. Throughout, it's there. All the time, in every sentence that Priya speaks, she's trying to explain herself.
To her mother.
To her mother. She's trying to tell her mother, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is.
Yeah. So Priya has basically broken off marriage? Does
Yes.
that mean?
Yes,
and
she has.
come to stay with her mother. And obviously she has no other place but her bond with her parents.
And there's only one parent left now.
No, well, you haven't mentioned the father.
No, but
Yeah.
it's implicit. I mean, it's understood,
It's
because the father
understood.
never comes. Figures
Yeah,
in
he never comes. And the mother too survives on a meager pension.
a widow's pension.
Widow's pension or whatever. So here is a woman who's in a way dependent on her mother. And of
Yes.
course she can live on her own. I think she's making some money from
Yes,
her.
she can, let's put it this way, she can earn her keep.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes. So I think that we have spelt out the basic storyline, but then there is the encounter with Mr. Keshwan,
Yes, yes,
doctor,
yes.
and I think Mr. Keshwan is a suitor. He's
Yes,
trying to
yes.
propose to her,
Yeah,
which he doesn't do, but I think she knows
Yes,
that
yes.
that is what he has in his mind.
That's another problem in the story. This
Yeah.
is part of the problems that she's facing.
Yeah.
When she cuts off from one man, it is not that she's cut off from men.
Yes.
Cutting off from one man is not the same thing. And she's not a hater of men. She doesn't really think that a man is responsible for all her problems. She's not that sort at all. That would be a very narrow reading of her character. If you were to think that she turned into one of those ultra-feminist man-haters. She's not that. She's not that.
This is very important to know that she has not left society. She is not averse to healthy relationships.
No.
She is not a man hater.
No.
She can have very meaningful relationships with people around her.
Yes.
So we see here is a lady who is in some kind of a predicament, in conflict, but she is open.
Yes.
She is a sensitive person. She is open to whosoever she confronts.
Yeah, the point here is that because she's trying to enter into a meaningful relationship with people. Now, meaningful means what? It does not mean dependency.
Yes,
See,
this is very important.
ours is the kind of culture which encourages dependence, which really places, which gives a certain kind of value to dependence, especially for
in
women,
women's
especially
case.
for women.
Yeah.
And that is what she's against. She doesn't want to be, she doesn't want any kind of dependency relationship.
Right.
See, is that, so that she can see that this man is attracted by her,
Yeah.
and she responds in a way, in the way, every woman likes to be liked.
Yes.
Every woman likes to be admired.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's sort of, it's a morale booster.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's nothing. You can't build on that simply because of the fact that, yeah, it's pleasant, it's nice for you to be liked by a man, that kind of thing. But you cannot construct any kind of relationship on this kind of feel-good factors.
That's very important. It's not just feel good. There should be some mission to live. In this case, in Priya's case, it is writing, which is a passion with her.
Yes.
She is dedicated to the art of writing. And her mother keeps complaining that she has nothing else to do. But she pursues it doggedly. And she has decided to eschew the marital bliss and other things associated with marriage.
Yes,
Isn't that so, Rajiv?
You can put
and
it, yes,
to be understood for what she is.
Yes, and the other thing, very important, I think her demands basically are very, very meager.
Yes.
No, she's not asking too much of people. She's not saying, give me this, give me that, give me... She's not asking for money things at all.
Yeah.
And she's not fond of what you would call luxurious living or opulent living, anything like that. These are not her aims. Her material demands are very limited. She can she can earn her keep, say, she can make enough to live on.
Yes. Now, Rajiv, we have analyzed the storyline.
Just one line?
Okay.
One line,
Okay.
one line.
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
The thing is that what she wants is really so... I don't want to use the word non-material, but what she wants are things like understanding.
Yeah.
See, and that is much more hard to get than money. Money you can get instantly. From whoever you ask. He or she will give you money on some condition or the other, whatever it is. You'll get money. Money is not such a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But whereas the other things are difficult to get, to earn.
Yeah. For instance, in this case, she can happily get married to Keshwan and just be carefree about money aspect. And some kind of security will be provided to her.
Yes,
she can
yes.
bask in that glory, but she doesn't want to do that. What she cares for is to live as a writer in her own right and be accepted for what she has decided to do.
A slight difference there, a slight variation there. She's not saying you accept me as a writer. She's not saying that. She's saying you accept me for what I am. I am a person who happens to write. So I come before the writer.
Yeah.
Huh?
But she does want to get good reviews of her book.
Yeah.
Somewhere she craves for recognition.
Yes, all that
Yeah.
granted. But
Yeah.
she would still want to be recognized if she were not a writer.
Yeah.
Even without it, she would want it,
Yes.
isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes,
The writing happens to be a factor.
Yes.
It happens to be a factor.
Yeah. Now we have analyzed the storyline and given our students enough for further technical discussion on the story, I'm sure. Raji, there's somewhere you have used the flashback technique when you have discussed her relationship with Keshwan.
Yes.
In what way this technique helps in this the let's say unfolding the past?
Yeah, it's exactly what you say. It's the unfolding of the past. I won't even say unfolding. It's a kind of close-up of the past, say. You bring it closer for the present to be made clearer.
Yeah.
And also, the thing is that the past and the present are not really very separate compartments. The past is always impinging into the present. It's not an isolated section at all of her life. You see? Does that, I mean, am I clear?
Yeah.
But the past and the present are not strictly compartmentalized.
Yeah.
The past keeps incursing into your present.
Yeah.
And this is what is shown in this particular, what we call flashback.
Continuity of time.
Yes, because she's trying to say what Keshavan is really.
Yes.
Because the flashback refers only to Keshavan.
Yes. The whole episode, there's a page devoted to that episode.
Yes, and the Keshavan factor runs throughout the rest of the story.
Also, this technique helps you to say in few words what has been happening over the years. Flashback.
Yes.
Because you could not have reported everything about Keshwan and her.
No.
But this one particular episode sums up what he stands for, what he has been craving for, and his understanding of her.
Yes.
And how she is looking at him, viewing him as a suitor.
Yes.
All that you have said with just one episode.
No, but the thing to really notice here is, take note of here, is that there is a caution on both sides. Kesavan can see that this is an unorthodox kind of woman. He can see that. Or he may, it's a different question whether he approves of it, whether he's happy with what she... That's not the point. The point is that he finds her a little strange.
Yes.
The strangeness makes him alert also, makes him cautious. And the same cautiousness you find in Priya also. Because she does not want any kind of entangling relationship. Because any emotional relationship is a frightful drag. I mean, it can really sap you.
Yes.
Your emotions, if they're too strong, they can sap you.
Very true. Very true. Raji, excuse my asking you, but is it autobiographical? How far the personal life gets reflected?
See, it's personal, like all stories are personal. I think there is no story which is totally impersonal.
Yes.
All fiction, perhaps every bit of writing we do is autobiographical, but it's not autobiography. See, there's a difference between autobiographical and autobiography.
Yes.
This is not autobiography. The events could not have taken place, did not, okay, let me put it this way, they did not take place in the way they have been portrayed in the story, but the basic character, perhaps, of the central character of Priya, you could say, is based on one's own self. You could say that, even the mother.
Yeah. So, again, talking about the conflicts in the story, do these conflicts get resolved in the end of the story?
Resolved? No. I don't think they do. See, the conflicts will continue for quite some time. But what happens is, some spark of understanding comes about among the three characters who are involved. So far, they're not really able to appreciate each other. But at one point, they do.
What has Keshwan to comment, what has he to say about her writings? Does he appreciate initially?
No, he's not really the writing. Let's say he's not the reading and writing sort. Let's put it. He's not the sort who reads books. He doesn't get his knowledge or understanding or anything from books. It is only maybe from what has been handed down to him, which he accepts.
He is a doctor by profession.
He's a doctor.
And very practical about life.
Very practical, and he doesn't question too deeply.
Yes.
He's not that. He's not that sort of man.
We see him only at the surface level.
And even at the surface, he's all right at that level. He doesn't aspire to go beyond that.
No. Yeah, Yeah, and also he's reticent in totally expressing himself to Priya, though she keeps waiting for him
Yes,
to propose
yes, yes.
to her. But he doesn't do that even.
He can't do
Whereas
it.
in the case of the mother, we do come to know a little more about her than Keshwan. The mother, we get an insight into what mother is thinking. The mother is much more in-depth
Aggressive.
portrayed.
Shall we say she's more aggressive?
Yeah, but at least what as a woman she is, as a person she is, we do come to know as we read the story, but not Dr. Keshwan so much.
Really?
He's,
Is that what you feel?
yeah, I mean, maybe because he is an outsider. And,
No, Renu, the point there is that he's an insider. He's an inside outsider.
Yeah.
I mean, he's part of the family. They have known him for many, many years.
Yeah.
Kesavan is probably a family doctor. Now, a family doctor is never a total outsider.
Yeah. But the
That
dialogue and that kind of interaction is missing.
The attempt is there.
Yeah.
See, that is the point, that the attempt to interact more deeply is always there, and you can feel it. But something is keeping him back. He's inhibited. You can
Exactly.
feel the inhibitions.
Yes.
Now, when you're inhibited, it means that the desire to break down the inhibitions is also there.
Yeah. Raji, then coming back to the question, how does the conflict, if at all, gets resolved towards the end? The whole thing comes together. The three characters, they come together. How does that happen? The end. Would you like to sort of read this end out and explain? Because the end is very, very important. For once, the mother asks Priya to get, or Keshwan asks her to get all her books.
Okay. Yes.
And
yes.
then there is a mellowing thing. Both Dr. Keshwan and the mother, they see the load of books
yes.
she carries,
yes.
and they feel the books. And then there is an effort on the part of the doctor to say, okay, he will try and read these books. And the mother also, though she confines herself to money, she says, but how much have you earned for writing so much?
Yes.
But for once, Priya, there is a coming together.
There is a coming together.
Yeah.
That's very important. And the thing is, they have come together through the medium of the books.
Yeah.
That's very important. The books play a very tremendous part in this whole momentary. It's really a momentary constellation of the three people. Let's say, like the way the stars constellate.
Yes.
Let's say, they won't always be there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that the very books, the very the expressions, I mean the books, the same things, the same objects that were being derided by the mother all this time suddenly become objects of veneration.
Yes.
And that's very important because the books become living. They become living organisms.
Yeah. Would you like to read from here the last, before that, what Keshwan has to say and the mother, and then the concluding paragraph of the story?
Maybe yes.
The students would want you to comment on this. What do you mean by tomorrow she might have another?
No, just a brief recap of what has happened before we come to this last para. They have, both Keshavan and Priya's mother have somehow seen her, have somehow come to appreciate all her efforts. They have come alive to it. They see her as in a very human way, let's say. All their prejudices have fallen off, at least for that one particular little moment. They're not angry with her. They're not exasperated with her. They're trying to understand her, and they have, to some extent, have understood. They have seen the poignance, let's say, of a woman, of anyone, of just human struggle. They've seen that. They've become alive to that point. So it has made them very mellow, very human, and that is at the sight of the books. See, if you can visualize this, Kesavan is standing with the book, with both his hands loaded with the books. It's a picture that it makes. The scene makes a picture. It becomes very pictorial at this point. So the books seem alive. They seem living organisms. And they're both saying, Priya's mother says, "You really wrote them, Priya?" There's a tone. The tone has changed now. She says, "You really wrote them?" And the doctor says, "I'm going to read them." He won't read them because he's not the reading sort. But at least he has this wish to read.
Yeah.
He sees that books are to be read, that in these books perhaps a great part of her character and a clue to her character lie. Now, with just that little bit of introduction, let me read this.
This is very
The last-
important
the
because
last para?
this paragraph sums up the entire story.
The last para?
Yeah.
So the picture is now that they're both very sympathetic. There's a total air of sympathy between the three of them now. Atmosphere of sympathy. Now, this is how it goes. Tomorrow she might well change. Tomorrow, in the clear light of day, her mother might well not be any more the kindly person she is now. But tomorrow a lot of things might well change. Kesavan's growing up may no longer mean anything. The review will certainly fade into the irrelevance it is. Tomorrow she will be again at her game of worming into herself and seeing what she has come up with. But that's tomorrow. Today she will joke with the doctor. She will laugh with her mother. She will drink lemonade. She will forget and drink a toast to herself. Now, that is just one instant. It's a very small instant, and in that instant, the entire story of her life is sketched out.
Correct.
And what is to come? It is also a prognostication, let's say. It is a kind of reading of the future also.
Yeah. This is very well said. Yeah.
That one it's a small incident. It's going to go away. She
Yes.
knows that.
Yes.
It's like fireworks.
Yeah. Tomorrow
You know,
the mother
sparklers,
will
yes.
come back
Everything,
with her
everything.
usual
Yes, yes.
battering and
Absolutely.
sarcasm
It
and
is
all that.
all going to revert to what thing? Back to square one, as they say.
Yeah.
It's going to be that. But this one little moment of happiness is very, very important.
And therefore she decides to drink her lemonade like a toast, giving a toast to herself.
Yeah.
That is the title of
again,
the story.
let us see how small the things are which have made her happy. How small. She's just drinking a little bit of lemonade, and that is going to make her happy.
Yeah.
The lemonade is like toast. It's like a toast to herself. You toast yourself by drinking wine.
Yes.
But the lemonade is taking the place of an intoxicant.
Yes, Raji, coming back to other things about your writing, because we have sensitized them enough with the story.
Okay.
Let me now ask you some general questions about your writing.
Okay.
Things like native expression, your knowledge of Tamil, your knowledge of your mother tongue, how does it interfere with when you write in English? Do the expressions bear some signs of your native fluency in your language?
No, you see, I don't know. I mean, generally there are problems. I think that problems are known by now.
Yeah.
The problems of writing in a language which is really not your own. Whatever you might say. Whatever the success of English writing and everything. Never mind all that. But basically, it's a language which is not your own.
Yeah.
So, and your problem is, and this has also been often said, that your problem is to adapt it.
Yes.
Adapt the language to your way of thinking, to your values, to whatever you want to project. There, of course, there's a conscious kind of craft which you have to cultivate. It doesn't come easily, especially in writing dialogue.
Yes.
That's where it is very difficult to, the older woman, for instance, I think,
The
in my
mother,
stories,
mother.
yes, say, the mother here, will be thinking in Tamil. She will not be thinking in English as, perhaps, Priya does, even Kesavan does.
Yeah, here probably we have one or two dialogues here which you can read out.
Yes.
That how the mother you have conceptualized a Tamilian
yes,
woman.
Yes, there is one
Not
place.
speaking English, but
No, there is one place, but there is one phrase particular. Now, where is
here,
it?
here. I'm a useless old body.
Yeah, no.
Is that the one?
What has she made from with her money? You know very well. The mother asks, "How much have you made from your money, from your writing?"
Yeah.
But she's made now in English. Now, if I were writing the mother wants to say that she's made nothing.
Yeah.
But the word she uses is pebbles.
Yeah.
She makes pebbles from her writing.
Yeah.
Now, where is that?
Yeah. Explain to her that the writing is for those with money. For those like her, it's a hobby only. Make her understand that. Somewhere she says that,
yes.
what have you done? You only made pebbles.
Pebbles.
Yeah.
Now, supposing she were a real English-speaking, thinking in English, she wouldn't say pebbles. I think she would say peanuts. You make peanuts from your writing.
Yes.
There's a lot of contempt in it.
Yeah. So,
but she cannot. If I were to say, if I had written, you make peanuts, it wouldn't have sounded right.
yeah. So you do emphasize the Indianness of your English.
I think
You
so.
cannot
I think
think
so.
otherwise for such old women.
No.
The old mothers in your
No,
stories.
No, I
Okay.
can't. I can't.
And then, Raja, I want to know, how does one write dialogue in a story? Is knowing the character, because our students must know, because no story we have selected for the syllabus is complete without dialogues. Dialogues are an essential part.
Of course,
And
yes,
what
yes.
makes the writer write dialogues in a fluent manner? Is knowing the character and the story
Yes.
plot very important?
Yes, the deeper you, absolutely.
It comes naturally then?
Even then, I will not say that it comes naturally. I think writing is really not natural. I really feel it's an unnatural act in many ways. You force it. You force yourself to make it sound natural.
Oh, so it's a craft which
And
requires a lot of practice.
I really feel that why do people want to write? Sometimes I feel that it's
Yeah.
really not natural. The natural thing is to just go out and enjoy life. Why do you want to sit down and write? Anyway, that apart. The naturalness of dialogue is illusory, I think.
Okay.
You read, it reads natural. But if you ask the writer, she or he will say that it really very consciously created craft.
Yes.
It is there. It is there, very much so.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Very well, I shan't hide them.
Yeah.
Shan't, I think that word is, I would call it too English. I would say, I don't think we people say, when we talk, we don't say shan't, we say won't.
Yeah, yeah.
We tend to say we won't do it.
I've seen that. The tendency to write correct English. The way Britishers would speak it.
But then I'm also wanting to stress the cultural aspect, you see.
Yes. You do that for, say, the old women in your stories. And the lesser educated old...
I'll tell you why I have used the word shan't here. Because it is Priya who is speaking. Priya can, perhaps, use this kind of, say, a little un-Indianness.
Westernized
a slight touch of that.
Yeah.
She can say shan't, but I cannot imagine
The
the mother saying shan't, or even Kesavan. He won't say shan't.
Yes. What about the narrative voice in the story? Is it the narrative in the story? Is the writer omniscient?
I think so.
Or
I
the
think
writer
so.
and the Priya are one? Or you see the writer is detached?
The writer is detached,
Yeah.
although there is a very close identification
Yeah.
of the two. And
Yes.
the two are identified with each other. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
The two are very meshed with each other, let's
Yeah.
say. But it's a third person narrative voice.
Yes, it's a third person. It's very important to be able to see who's speaking and who's listening and
Yes,
who's doing
yes,
the storytelling.
Yeah.
These are very important things to consider in a story, the art of narrative. Now, Raji, do you consider Priya a person who's lonely, not in the sense of physical loneliness, but lonely in the sense that she has nobody to communicate with?
No, she's not lonely.
No, not
all.
lonely in the physical sense,
No,
but
no.
lonely
Yes,
that she's
that
not
way.
understood.
Yeah, that way. But then,
Yeah.
you see, I think I'd like to draw a distinction here between being lonely and being solitary.
Yes.
Between solitude and loneliness, they're not the same. She's looking for solitude because it is only in solitude that she's going to grow.
Yeah.
And solitude can also become very oppressive at times. It can become oppressive. But she's still not lonely. She's not craving for any company. She doesn't go out of her way to seek company.
Yeah. Raji, would you like to, from this collection, tell our students about any other story of yours which bears some resemblance to the story?
Yeah, I think this story, Cat, it does. It is about a mother-daughter relationship in which the mother is strong. She's really strong. Materially, she's stronger because she happens to be the owner of the house in which the two people are living.
Okay.
And she has the power to tell the girl to go when things become a little too hot.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, there is a lot of bond between them. The mother and the daughter bond. There is a bonding between them, which is there in A Toast to Herself also. There's a lot of bonding between the mother and the daughter.
Yes.
Or don't you think so?
Yeah, and that is true of all your stories.
Also, but
And I
in
think
this
that
story,
is in tradition, Indian tradition, in keeping with the Indian tradition also.
the thing here is the differences are not hidden. The differences are made open. All their quarrels, all the really riotous, sometimes the riotous quarrels that they have, they're all made open, expressed openly, candidly, and they don't really soft pedal things,
Yeah.
They don't hold back. They say whatever they want to.
But they don't harm.
No, they talk openly, candidly, without hurting. I think.
Yes.
I think they don't want to hurt each other.
Yeah. Now, Raji, a very important question I want to ask you is that how much do you subscribe to the stereotype Indian woman image that is projected by the Western white women, the post-colonial writings, the image that is projected about third world women by the white women. I'm reading from Chandra Talpade Mohanty, and she says for third world women, the white women think that they are essentially women who have a truncated life based on gender, sexually constrained, ignorant, poor, uneducated, tradition bound, domestic, family oriented, victimized. And the non-Western women, they talk about themselves as if they are educated, as if they are modern, having control over their sexuality and their bodies, and the freedom to make their own decisions. How much your women sort of subscribe to this image of Asian women or Indian women?
They don't. They're not like that at all.
Yes.
They're not weak.
Yeah.
See, they're always, almost all of them are in really adverse circumstances. They don't have it easy, but they're not weak. They never, I think, never break down. Not a single case of breakdown has there been throughout all these 17 stories here. By the way, this is the second collection of stories.
Okay.
That should be made clear.
Yeah.
But they never break down.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. They can. I mean, you hear about breakdowns taking place today due to stress, but these women do not.
In spite of extreme poverty, in spite of
don't even
lack
say,
of male
no,
support.
don't even say poverty, Renu. I think that's not quite the right word. Straitened circumstances.
Or living in meager means.
Okay, yes, frugal. They have to live frugally.
Spartan
But that's all
lives.
right. But that gives them character. It makes them strong character. They're women of strong character.
Yeah.
And they're not weaklings. They're not weaklings as this image of the image in the mind of the Western
yes,
woman
Raji,
is.
all the women that we have chosen for our MEG 7 syllabus, whether Shashi Deshpande's Miracle or Geeta Hariharan's Gajar Halwa or your story or the fourth daughter Subhadra Chauhan's story, the women don't come out weak, they assert. And they are aware of what is happening to them.
Yes.
And they find ways of surviving in spite of all the ordeals and hardships. So I think they are very strong women characters.
They are strong.
And
they are strong,
we are
yes.
questioning the stereotyped image that gets projected by the Western world about Indian women, and I'm quite sure our Indian literatures are furthermore very, very rich in projecting the true women. Where are the true women in the Indian English writing? Except you, maybe you are trying to cross the threshold. But by and large, I think the other women writers like to confine themselves to such mediocre these restraints of domesticity, family life, sexually deprived and such things, not being able to assert their decisions, indecisiveness, all these things. But I think you are steering women out of this kind of framework.
Yes, I am, and I am doing that.
Can you think of some other women writers who are also writing like you? Maybe Ambai could be one.
Yes, Ambai is that.
Ambai is
I think Mahashweta is.
Mahashweta, of course.
Mahashweta is doing
and
it.
To some extent,
the point there is
Indira Goswami also to some extent.
But the thing about Mahashweta is that she doesn't write about, I think she doesn't write too much about family women. As far as I know. No mistaken there.
Yeah.
But this is not her theme, I think, of women being circumscribed by the family setup.
Yes.
It's not her theme, I think.
Yeah.
She doesn't write about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of strength. There is a lot of strength in her writing, which is really feminine strength.
Yes. So definitely all of you have got an insight into Raji Narasimhan's portrayal of women, and especially Priya's character and what Priya stands for, and the kind of crisis that working women who have passion for writing, who are aware, who want recognition, who want a place for themselves in society, in spite of having decided to come out of the family bondage, live a life on their own terms. And
may just one word here, Renu?
Yes. One
word to describe the kind of women that the word would be tensile, I think.
Okay, that's a very nice word.
It's muscular. It gives them a certain muscular character, muscular feel,
Yes.
They're tough.
Let's
say tough.
Yeah. So we have summed up what this Raji stands for in a way through her stories, and I'm sure you have been able to appreciate the story, a toast to herself, and the dilemma of Indian women who are educated and who have decided to live life on their own terms. And I'm sure this will help you to prepare for your exams and do well in your exams, and also be more aware of Indian womanhood. Thanks. Nice to be with you.
Nice
okay, Raji, it was really a pleasure to hear you today. I'm sure our students will read this new collection.
I hope so. I hope so.
The
I hope so.
illusion of home. The title itself
It
conveys
has
a
to be
lot.
released. It has to be released yet.
Yeah,
It's
we are
not yet
awaiting
formally
the book release very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.